a mystery or get prepped for a fight. Your favorite handful of die-hard dice tonight. Against those high DCs, a 20 would be nice. Please no one's die-hard dice. Need a crit, you gotta roll with die-hard dice. Let's get dangerous. Die-hard dice. Die-hard dice. Rolling scrolls and misshaped spheres, it's so hard to decide. So many colors and designs the Die Hard can provide. Which ones should I procure? So give me some advice. You need some Die Hard dice. Oh well, we suggest you roll with the best. Die Hard dice. Let's get dangerous. Die Hard dice. Don't be dice jail for these bad boys. Die Hard dice.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Dead Men Tell No Tales, a Ghosts of Saltmarsh story. I am Tessa, your DM. I use she/her pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at SelkyDreams. I thank you guys for joining us. We are winding down our campaign. We've got one, probably two more sessions to go, and then we will also do a Q&A and epilogue session after that. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and jump in and get our players introduced. So starting with Crackers. Where can
Good evening. My name is Crackers. I portray Crackers, the awakened parrot bard, on this program. With me, as always, is my assistant, Matthew, who rolls my dice and handles other functions that require fingers and phalanges. You can find him at as the Dungeon Master for the Land Above podcast.
Excellent. And jumping over to Fortune.
Hi, I'm Jay. I play Fortune, Tiefling Monk. You can find me on Twitter at J with 2 eyes TXT. I do art, like the art for the stream, which I don't think I mentioned in a while. I do commissions sometimes. Probably soon, maybe.
And Gwilyn.
Hello, I'm Autumn. I play Gwilyn Hayes, CL Fighter, and you can find my art and writing, and I'm here every Friday, and various other things that I do you can find out about at Losalanta Blaze on Twitter.
And last but certainly not least, Jaffer.
Hi, I'm Zach. I use he, him pronouns. I play Jaffer Zanzib, the Rock Gnome Artificer. She uses she, her pronouns. So whatever you want to use, I'm cool with that. You could find me on Twitter at DuskFayDruid. You can also find me on the Nerdsmith Discord, where I run one-shots. I plan on having one tomorrow, maybe?
Ooh, exciting. Excellent. Well, let's set sail, shall we? So last week, you guys made your triumphant, or more clandestine, return to Saltmarsh, having found things going not so well in your port of origin. It seems that Scarin has taken over the council, the mines are being worked round the clock, and air shale has been found in the mines, making them even more valuable than they had been in the past. And everything is being taxed relentlessly. Cracker's using some of his amazing skills, managed to kind of send a projection of himself ahead of time to get a lay of the land. And between you and Gellin, your ally, you managed to find a landing spot in some some abandoned-looking caves that are wide enough to house not only your two ships but several others. And there you met Torma, the dragon that you had rescued her child, and discovered that Torma and Motley, your little Modron friend, are one and the same. You snuck back into Saltmarsh, disguised as other people, went down to the mines. Major DM sneeze, sorry. And then that was the dust from Jaffer's Thunderwave spell when she collapsed at the beginning of the mine, as what Crackers called a synthesized natural disaster. So Manistrad, who is the leader of the mine, is now working in slight cahoots with you to at least have saved everyone who was working in the mines. But you guys are going to have to think quick, as Scarin and his men are arriving at the mines to see what the hubbub was all about. You have bought some more time. Coral is off gathering more allies with the lizard folk at the moment, and she will be back next week. So what is it you would like to do as the dust is beginning to settle around the collapsed mine entrance?
I think we should scatter, right? I mean, we don't need to be here anymore, yeah?
Probably for the best. Let's get out of here before they show up.
Yes,
True.
and your illusions aren't going to last much longer.
That is true. You guys have about 10 or 15 minutes left on your illusions.
Good point.
Crackers, you hear Manistrad very low. I'm going to want an explanation for this later. Where can we meet?
Motley's.
Very well. I will meet you at Motley's in an hour.
That would work, yes.
Go, quick, before they catch you.
Away we go.
So you all scatter. You manage to get away as you see Scarin, Wave Chaser, and 4 other individuals coming tromping up the path rather quickly to see what has caused such a ruckus in the mine. I assume you don't wait around to figure out what they're going to talk about. All right, so where do you head off to?
Does anyone need to stop anywhere? I mean, I know Gwilyn, I mean, we've already seen your family, so do we need to go back to them, or should we just go to Motley's to wait?
I'll send her a message on the way, telling her about the collapse, that it was us. Beyond that, Mum can take care of herself. They should be alright. If they need anything, they'll find a way to reach us. I mean, we could look around a bit more, but the disguises will only last a few minutes longer. Is the only problem with that.
I can disguise again, or just be invisible
Same.
like Crackers, but I don't really know what else to look for.
I've got another disguise spell myself, don't have invisibility. Can be that on a bit. But if you think of something, we could check it out separate, but otherwise I'd say head back.
All I can do is make myself really small. I can't illuse myself or disguise myself in any kind of magical way, unfortunately.
I mean, you made the armor. You've got other talents. It's fair.
Damn right.
Alright, so you guys make your way back to Motley's.
She will briefly message her mother just in case. Just letting her know. It's me. We collapsed the mine. that was us. Just so you know, heading back to Motley's if you need to reach me.
Be safe. So you all make it back to Motley's. Torma/Motley has left the door slightly ajar for you to get in. And you make it just in time, and about 2 minutes after you make it into the tavern, back over to where the trapdoor is, your disguises fade and you are once again looking like yourselves. Crackers, is your invisibility just about gone at this point as well, or no?
It lasts for an hour, so it's probably done as well.
Okay. So you are all once again visible. Motley pokes her head up. How'd it go? I heard a big crash and a boom, and is everything all right?
For the moment, it seems Manistrad will be meeting us here in about an hour.
Oh, very good. I will make sure that I am not seen, since I am missing in action at the moment. And she tries to wink, but she's in her clockwork form, so she only has the one eye, so it just looks like she's rapidly blinking at you. But in the meantime, can I get anything for anybody?
A maid would be lovely if you don't mind.
Can do.
I kind of feel bad asking for stuff.
Why?
Because you're like,
I'm still me. Been me the whole time.
yeah, but I mean, it's like if you found out that I was royalty.
You royalty?
No. Well,
That you know of. Because you're a queen in my book. And she
thank you. Jeffrey blushes.
goes off and gets everybody their favorites. Manistrad shows up not too long after. Did you leave the door ajar for her as well, or does she need to knock?
I would say knock. Probably. Glenn would keep an eye out, not get too close to the windows, but check every now and then to see if there was movement outside, if she could.
It seems like whatever's happening now at the mines is taking up a lot of time, so there's probably very few people, if any, on the street right now. Eventually, though, you do see kind of the Rubenesque figure of Manistrad walking towards the door. And a moment later, there is a knock.
Welcome. Inside, please.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
And you as well. Wish it were under better circumstances.
As do I. So Manistrad comes in and she settles herself at one of the benches and kind of appraises all of you. So what exactly is going on? I'm assuming there's a reason you tried to blow up my mine?
I did blow up your mind. I mean, someone did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just a little, just the entrance. Everything else is probably okay.
You can probably still use it. It's only a little bit damaged.
I do appreciate the warning beforehand.
Well, we wouldn't want any of the miners to get caught in it.
No.
That wasn't the point.
Did you make sure that everyone got out safely? I mean, was everyone accounted for?
Yes, everyone is accounted for.
Good.
Thank you, Crackers, for your warning.
Of course, of course. Yes, this air shale, this white marble you've been mining. We believe it's best if as little of it as possible gets shipped out of the city. And that's why we decided to close the mine rather hastily.
So, I understand that, but here's the issue: is the monarch has requested this air shell, this material. If I do not deliver the air shield, then I am going against the wishes of the monarch. Is there a reason I should be concerned about following their orders?
We have reason to believe that the monarch is being held under an undue influence by a third party, that their actions are not not necessarily in the best interests of the kingdom.
That's one way to put it.
What are you suggesting we do? If we don't make our deliveries, then we hasten a potential war. And you're saying if we do continue to make our deliveries, we endanger the entire kingdom?
Actually, probably endanger the entire world.
Yes.
Oh, well, that is quite the spin on it all. How do you figure?
Well, there are agents of the goddess Rinth at work. One of them is responsible for holding this power over the monarch, and we believe that this air shale is being delivered to them for use in nefarious purposes, the construction of something called the Isle of Bones.
That does not sound particularly good. All right.
Oh, it's not.
Okay, so
Dungeon Master,
yes.
did we find out what the purpose of the Isle of Bones was?
As far as you know, it is to be a kingdom on above ground for Rinth herself, which would. There's also potential rumor that you read that she is potentially making a consort of Orcus and sharing the island with him. Nothing great. But it is
No.
supposed to be basically a throne for them both, so they can extend their reach across this plane.
Right. I will reiterate that for Manistrad.
She leans back in her chair and kind of folds her arms across her chest. So, I understand your concerns. Clearly, things are not great here. The council is all but disbanded. Edda and Eleander are in jail. Anders is missing. Motley is missing.
Well, about
Gellin
Anders.
is... Oh.
I mean, good news, bad news. We know where Anders is. Sort of. It's not.
Where is he?
You heard of Esco, I assume.
Eureka Esco is a fiction, a fairy tale. The things that go bump in the night that the people tell their children about.
Apparently not. And that's where Anders is, taken captive.
Excellent. Great.
In the Dreadwood.
In the Dreadwood. Aye.
Oh, even better.
Right, it just gets better. We've got so much good news for you.
Please tell me you at least found Gellin.
We did.
Yes.
Good.
He's alive and
He's
well.
safe.
I am glad
Little
to hear
brood.
that. I'm glad he's well. I assume he's here somewhere.
Did you know he was a prize fight champion?
Like a really good one at that.
Actually, I did know that.
Well, we thought it would be best if he kept a low profile, but aye, he's nearby.
That is a good plan. Smart thinking.
We
So,
do have allies. Sorry.
oh, that was my next question, so I appreciate that.
We've got allies coming. Could be a few days before some of them get here. Not the best of bedfellows in some cases with the cross quarters, but we've potentially got the lizard folk and militia from Pleasure Island to help us as well.
Well, that's more than we've got here. Scaren's got everything pretty much on a lockdown, which is odd to me because Scaren has ever had any love for the Monarch before, so I'm not entirely sure what his game is.
These forces that Skerin is commanding to keep control of the city, are they Imperial or local?
Neither. I'm not entirely sure where they're from. I've never seen them before, and they're certainly not anybody I know from the Imperial side of things as well. They call themselves brothers, but I'm not sure who they are. Just that he has commandeered them from somewhere. Mercenaries, I take it.
Any idea how many there are in Saltmarsh?
Currently, I think there's 5 or 6 of them. Scarin was making noises that if there were any further rebellious acts, that he would call for more backup. I assume he was calling the Monarchsmen.
Is it the Scarlet Brotherhood? Is that what they're talking about?
I've never heard of them. But they all do wear scarlet colors.
Well, that's
I would
great.
Who are the Scarlet Brotherhood?
Jeffers like going through her like notebook that she just always is always like writing in.
Anybody we should be aware of?
I potentially. That are not good news, I can tell you.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like we have a couple of days then to wait for reinforcements arrive and then form a plan. From what I hear, whispers, the Monarch's army is coming this way to secure things. After the rebellion, they were summoned.
Well, that's lovely. They did
But
such
if-
lovely things on Pleasure Island.
Right?
So the way I see it is, there's going to be quite the naval battle. because I think we're gonna try to stop them, yeah?
I would hope so.
So maybe we should try to get, what citizens are here, in a safe place. I'm not really sure where to take them, though.
That is a good point. We need to figure out how to evacuate those who cannot fight, to rally those who will fight, come up with a plan, and figure out what fronts we want to fight on. If Esso is real and he is the one pulling the strings, then someone needs to confront him. I can't spare many miners to go to the Deadwood, but I can help people here. You'd need a smaller team to go and face Esco, I believe. And then with whatever allies we have, we might be able to keep the rest of the armies busy.
I think you're looking at the smaller team.
I'd say so. If you could hold things down here and maybe we leave Gillen as the other person who knows about those coming as an in-between.
That could work.
He could help organise things behind the scenes since you kind of have to be a bit of a public figure at the moment or they'll get suspicious.
And the less you are all seen around here, the better.
It's true.
Right. The Deadwood is a few days' journey from here. I'm hesitant to leave you before your allies arrive, to have you leave before your allies arrive, but we can at least get you prepared.
Any help would be appreciated.
I do have some stock of things that were sent by the Crown that you can all have your pick of, and we can get you outfitted. There are nasty things in the Dreadwood. You'll all need to be very careful.
I mean, I assumed it was going to be a lovely place with that name. Very cheerful.
I'll need a little bit of time to gather everything, but if this is where you're planning on using as a safe house, I can bring some selections to you tomorrow if you would like. Right.
Sounds pretty
That would
good
be
to
very
me.
helpful.
I'm gonna give you some time for Kroll to catch up. You'll all need each other, definitely. I don't want to send you one person down at all. Right. I better get out of here before I draw any attention for not being nearby. Did a good job. It'll take a couple of days at least for us to clear out enough rubble to get back into the mines. So it'll be a realistic delay.
Right. Is there anything else we should be aware of going on in town here that we should look into before we go? Not exactly keen on sitting around for a day.
Nothing that I can think of for you to look into, but just try and stay out of trouble and out of sight.
Of course, it's me.
Well, that's what worries me, Gwilyn. Right. I will be back later with an assortment of things for you to peruse before you head off.
Much obliged.
Be safe.
You as well.
And she nods and she makes her way to the door. And then she's gone. And it's once again quiet.
So what are we doing for a day? Because I'm not sitting here drinking all day. I mean, I just can't hold still that long.
No.
It is already getting close to dusk on this day, just so you
Perfect.
know.
Better for sneaking about.
Absolutely. That's something I could totally do.
I had been
Get a
giving
great-
thought to breaking into Skillen's office.
Right? It sounds like a
mischief.
brilliant plan.
All right. So, a couple votes for Scaren's office. Anybody have any opposing ideas, or shall we jump right into it?
Fortune, do you think we should?
If it seems like we're going to get caught, then we should scatter, but I don't see any reason to not. Could find
course.
out. We could find out things, which is information we don't have.
Information's always helpful.
All right.
And I mean, we have like several hidey places, in Saltmarsh alone. Not including family members' places, but we have, obviously here Motley's place. We can meet at my workshop. We can meet at Gellen's. We can meet at the abandoned alchemist's house. We have so many places that we can go to. Those can be points of congregation.
Several of us have message, so if something did go wrong,
Yeah,
we can communicate fairly well.
and not even that. Keep in mind that we do have those sending stones. I mean, I have mine always on me. I gave it to you. Did you put it in the little pouch that I have, or do you just keep it out with you?
It's in the shed pouch.
Okay, yeah. So if anyone needs to get in contact with me, I always have mine out, and then you can just reach into the pouch and it's there. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Petty larceny?
I mean,
Please.
It's not petty though. I know. Yeah. I mean,
Justify.
there you go.
justified larceny. It's the best kind.
Ugh. Espionage.
Ooh, that's really cool. Yeah, I like that.
Aye, you would like the classier terms, the both of you. Not the object.
All right. So you guys poke your heads out. Do you wait for it to get darker, or do you go now?
Let's wait for nightfall.
Have drinks to bolster our emotional strength.
Aye.
So you have some drinks. You wait for night to fall. And the city is eerily quiet. Usually at dusk, people are filling the taverns and it is raucous and noisy, or Gellin was having a party and the entire town was invited. It's oddly silent. There's no music, no shouting from taverns. Barely even the creaking of wood in the harbor. And you all slip out of Motley's tavern and into the night. Where is it that you head? Do you head to Anders' house where Scaren lived or lives currently? Or do you head down to the city hall?
Let's start at City Hall.
It's either that or split the party.
Yeah, City Hall is more likely to be empty in the evening. Scarin may be home.
It's true.
So you make your way down to City Hall. It is very quiet. As you pass by City Hall, you see the little jail as well. There seems to be one lone person in the guard's office at the moment. You can see a lamp flickering in the front room. But aside from that, there's nobody out on the streets. And it's a quick and easy stop. How are you proposing to enter? The door to City Hall is currently locked.
I mean, we've got our own sort of keys, as it were.
We sure do.
You lot got this.
Jaffer will pull out her thief's tools and sneak up to the door.
Gwyn will try and keep an eye out.
All right. Make me a check.
That is a 25.
Oh. This lock is nothing. Barely makes a noise as you pop the lock open.
They really should get better locks on this.
Hey, you'd think they'd do better on City Hall. Maybe we'll mention that if they get better management later.
Sure, yeah.
Just told Galen. If he's in charge, then it would matter. If he's not, then he can break it. I don't care.
So you make your way inside.
Does there appear to be anyone in City Hall?
Make me perception checks.
"12."
15.
I rolled a 3, so 17.
I'm shocked that it's 24.
You don't hear anything. You don't see any movement. It seems to be empty and deserted. Gwynlyn, you do notice that one of the doors is slightly ajar on the inside, though there is no light coming from the room.
Do I know what that room leads to? What that door leads to? What room or no?
One of the council members' offices.
She'll kind of try to signal towards it and like wait here and sneak over to check.
Alrighty. Are you all being stealthy or no? Are you just going?
Stealthy.
Very stealthy.
Alrighty.
Trying to be.
Then I would like you all to make stealth checks.
24.
Alright.
14.
10. I knew I'd pay for getting a good perception check.
15 at disadvantage.
Alrighty. 1 second. The thing I was looking for has disappeared. 1 minute. I apologize. Please go ahead and RP for a minute while I try and locate this information that I had written down somewhere and has vanished on me.
Gwillin! Shh!
Easier if you weren't whispering at me, you scared me half to death.
Can't you message?
I cast message towards Gwillin and I just say, shh!
Beautiful.
You know, sometimes, Bird, sometimes I'll go to check out this door.
You know, I could probably, like, trap the doors with some kind of enchantment. What kind of enchantment would I do, though? I mean, it wouldn't be anything specific. It'd be like a sound or something, but it could be a loud sound. I did that once. Remember Gellen's party? I did that to a bathroom. That was hilarious. I was very drunk.
It'd be helpful now, though.
It would be helpful now.
How would that be helpful now?
Because if someone goes through the doors that isn't us, it'll make a noise.
Yeah.
And let them know that someone's in here.
I mean, if I don't make it like something, if I make it like the sound of a can clattering, then like, oh no, they accidentally hit a can or something. You know what I mean?
Or a really loud creak.
There you go.
We got in. We know their secrets and they know that we know. But I don't think we need to let them know that we know.
No, that's a known unknown.
It's a known unknown, huh?
Well, I
I like you
mean,
guys.
if it was an unknown, then we wouldn't know we didn't know it. There's probably all kinds of those.
Alright. So. It is Eleander's office that is currently open. I apologize for that. I had to find
Sorry.
some information.
And apparently, Gwillin steps on a creaky floorboard or trips or something on the way, but just a little.
Alright. Nobody is around to hear it, so it's fine.
And she'll creep over to the door and open it a little bit, look inside.
This room has been ransacked recently. There are papers floating around everywhere.
She'll kind of gesture over. Someone's been here.
Interesting.
Jennifer will crawl over.
Does it look like it more towards the desk has been torn apart, or a bookshelf or anything, or just everywhere?
It looks like somebody was searching for something. Books have been opened, drawers have been opened and emptied out. There are bits of loose paper around. It looks like somebody was looking for something. I'm not entirely sure what.
Something small if they were looking inside books. It's either a paper or something small enough to fit in without you knowing about it.
Anyone who would like to, please give me an investigation check.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
$17 investigation.
I rolled a 2, so that's a 12.
Okay, it is
I got a 6.
Nice.
7 minus 1.
All right. So, Crackers, you see a case on the wall where there are a row of 6 medals. Or sorry, 2 rows of 3 medals that look to be well polished and well taken care of. There is one medal that is completely tarnished and not at all cared for.
I should look a bit more closely. These, do they appear to have been awarded for anything particular?
You see all of them have Eleander's name on them. And most of them look like they are medals of bravery, leadership in combat. The one that is tarnished seems to have a bit of paper sticking out from behind it.
I shall use my mage hand to pull this piece of paper out and see what it says.
As you look at it and open it up, you see the following message. Eleander, I have movement on Esco. Things are getting dire. Meet me at the place, or meet me at my place so we can discuss. And it's signed Ingo. INGO.
Who's Ingo?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
You do know of a gentleman in Saltmarsh by the name of Ingo the Drover. He is got kind of a reputation for being somebody who always knows where to find a good pair of hands or a set of muscle when sticky situations are arising. He keeps to himself a lot. He doesn't have a lot of friends in the town, but he does kind of he is known when people are looking for someone. He's got a place off the beaten path, not too far from the mines.
I'll keep that in mind. We should check the other counselors' offices, see if they've been gone through as well.
Do you attempt to pick anything up or clean anything up in here, or do you leave it exactly as it is?
We
Leave it
didn't
as
make
it
a
is.
mess.
All right. So you guys head out, and you find Edda's and Gellen's and Motley's offices are all neat as a pin. Nothing seems to have been disturbed in any of them. When you get to Manistrad's office, you can tell that she's been using it still. You can see a healthy coating of dirt around the handle, where she's probably come in from being in the mines. The door is unlocked, and when you enter, nothing seems to be out of place anywhere. There is one final door, which you guys know to be Anders.
That's the one.
This door, however, is locked.
Detha, would you please?
Oh, You got it, Lord Admiral. Jeffrey will go over and pull her thief's tools out. That is a 20 total.
All right. You get the lock open just fine.
We really need to get better locks. That's fine. Do I think the door is trapped? Because this is Anders' door, and Anders is supposed to be a shifty person.
Anders was not shifty, but Scarin
right,
was
okay.
his. Scarin is the person who has cared for, and Scarin is shifty as hell. So the question is, did you check for traps before you thought about there might be traps on this door?
No.
Okay.
I opened it and I was like, I hope this isn't trapped.
All y'all just stood there and watched.
You do hear an alarm start ringing loudly, echoing in your heads.
Whoops.
Well, we'll be quick, and we go.
You
Quick
go in?
search.
Can I see where the alarm is?
Nope. It doesn't appear to be mechanical in any way. Must
No,
be
I mean
magical.
like. Okay, do I see? Do I notice any kind of like, glyphs or anything?
You did see a brief flash as you opened the door of a glyph.
So it's not active anymore. I mean, it's not like accessible anymore.
Correct.
Okay, because I do have dispel magic, but oh well.
Sorry. No, you could still dispel the noise, probably, but the notification has happened. You would imagine.
I mean, we're done here, right?
If the spell alerts Skerin, it may take him a few minutes to get here. We can still have a quick look.
And then we
Now
head
go.
to his place afterwards. Go and start looking through the stuff hurriedly. Well,
Anything-
he's here.
It was trapped. There's got to be something in there we're taking. So.
Good point.
All right, so you guys are going in.
Yeah.
I'm casting invisibility as I do.
Good plan. All right, you pop in, and what you used to know as a very neat and orderly office looks like a complete mess.
Well, this isn't how I remember it. Alright, let's go.
I fly to the desk.
There are books and papers scattered everywhere. It looks like letters, some tied together in ribbon. None of them appear to be in Anders' hand.
Do I see any letters that would be addressed to Esco?
Make me a perception check.
I would just grab
Or
the
investigation.
stack.
Whichever you would prefer.
They know we've been here.
12.
To Esco. In fact, you see several letters from Esco as well. If this person was trying to hide their activities, they did a very poor job of it.
I shall stuff all of them into my bag.
And if there was a bookshelf or anything else that looked messy, Gwilyn looking through stuff for it.
You see a book on the Dreadwood.
Grab it. She's not gonna look through it right now, but she'll grab it.
And then, is there anywhere in particular that Jaffer and Fortune are looking? Or are they just keeping lookout right now?
Jaffer's keeping lookout. She feels bad that she didn't look for traps.
Yeah, keeping lookout.
Do I think this building is flammable?
It's stone. Parts of it would be flammable.
That's all Jaffer's thinking about.
And
It
is there
is attached to the jail next door. If you set this building on fire and it spread, it could be potentially bad for anyone who's inside.
Good point.
is there a window
Yes, there are windows.
large enough that we could all climb out of it?
Yes, it's a good sized window.
Fortune, can you open this up?
Yes. I'll go over and do that.
Wherever you are, I don't know where you went.
The window just magically opens.
Very good. All right, everyone, we should make an escape.
Good plan. Let's go.
Alright, so you all fell out the window. You close it behind you.
Yes.
Excellent.
And
You
does it have
see-
a little lock on the inside or anything?
No, unfortunately, they're not quite that fancy. You can hear shouts coming from the dock side of town. You imagine that is where Scarin was, and you can see his torchlight beginning to flicker from that area.
Quick, let's head to Anders' place. He'll be distracted right now.
Yes, good job, Jeff.
Alright, you head on up. I'm assuming that you are stealthing through the streets.
Yes.
Please make me stealth checks.
Would mine be an advantage because I'm invisible?
Yes.
17 stealth.
27.
7.
23. And yes, I remembered Tessa.
Alright.
It was the same
Luckily-
roll.
Luckily, I was giving you kind of a group DC and you were all okay. Had you been moving individually, it may have been a different story, but since you're all moving together, you managed to be unseen as you make your way over to Anders' estate. It seems dark. And the door looks like it was thrown open in haste and had not been closed properly.
Before we go in, I shall cast
I'm so sorry, you cut out?
Before we go in, I shall cast Detect Magic.
You detect no magic.
Actually, I shan't cast that because I don't have that spell. I forgot.
That's okay. You get the information for free anyway.
Let's go. Hopefully we can get through before he gets back.
Yes.
Probably best if we split up.
Probably.
Who wishes to go to the office and who wishes to go to his quarter?
I'll take either.
I'll go to his office.
I'll go with Jaffer.
All right.
Looks like it's you and me.
Upstairs.
Alright, let's go.
Alright. I would like each team to make an investigation check, and I will use the highest roll out of so it's like kind of like an advantage in that way.
18.
I Nat 20, so it's a 19.
22.
All right.
Good job, everybody. Mine's like 6.
Okay. So in the office, there are a few more letters to Esco. And then in the quarters, you find a small lockbox. Do you take the time to open it now, or do you take it for later?
Yes, I shall attempt to pick the lock on it.
All right, go for it.
Uh, 15.
All right, the lid pops off, and inside you see several spell scrolls, and you also see a couple diamonds inside.
I shall take all of those, place them in my bag, and close the box back up and relock it and put it back where I found it, so it appears undisturbed.
Excellent.
Is there ink pot or anything like that up here in the bed?
There is an ink pot. Yes, there is an inkwell.
I look to Gwilyn and say, I'd rather like to leave him a little message.
I like that idea.
And
What shall we say?
Using my mage hand, I shall write in ink upon the wall in very large letters, Torma knows your name.
Very nice.
Excellent choice. I almost feel like we should take some item of clothing just because Fortune would do it if he were up.
Oh yes, we take a quick look through Skerin's wardrobe.
See if we see anything nice.
It is all a little chintzy and gross looking. Nothing, no fine sumptuous fabrics or anything like that. It's all on the greasy side and slightly ill-fitting at best.
There's something very wrong with this man.
All charcoal gray and the occasional bit of scarlet.
I mean, the colouring, one thing. Also, the scarlet says something to me. But, you know, if you're going to be evil, shouldn't you at least get some kind of reward out of it in the, like, finery? What are you selling the place out for if it's not that?
Fair point. I mean, not everyone is blessed to be as lucky as I am and look good naked.
That's very true. Most people are not.
Right, well, we should rejoin the others.
Hey, alright. She'll leave one of them, since it's obvious that we've been here, she will leave part of the clothing just like thrown aside as though this, I was going to take it, but you know. Just for the insult.
I'm too good for your disgusting clothes.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Does the door to the office have a lock on it?
It does not.
Okay. Jeffrey will enchant it so that a sound of flatulence happens when you open it.
Very nice. I love
I
it.
shouldn't laugh at that, but I did.
It's perfect. All right. So you have not been here long. So where do you head? Do you try to search the rest of the house, or do you take what you've got and go elsewhere?
I mean, on the way to the office, did it seem like there was anything of importance that I walked past?
There was a lot of Anders' family's crests and different trinkets that belonged to Anders. Nothing in particular that seemed out of the ordinary.
So we can get out. Well, there is absolutely no danger right now. Or we can see how many people in this town have an underground cellar that goes somewhere that we didn't know about this whole time.
That's a
Because
good
I'm
point.
kind of curious.
We could check, though. Well, it might have been long enough for Scaring to put one in. I don't know if Anders' family would. Well,
Well, aye, but I didn't know about a few of the others here, and
it's true.
I'm
That's true.
disappointed that I didn't know it before.
You know now. You can probably use them if you want.
Oh, I intend to.
Do you head downstairs?
Just to look around.
Gwyn will
Yeah.
if no one stops out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you head. Where do you head in the house, thinking that you might find a entrance to an underground lair?
Gellens was in the kitchen, wasn't it?
It was.
I probably head down near servants' quarters. That kind of place.
Mhm. As you head down, you see what looks to be a cellar door.
Is it trapped? And is it locked?
There is a very large padlock on it.
If one of you would do the honors, please.
Crackers, would you like to do that?
How about you check for traps first?
Oh, that's a good idea. Jeff will check for traps.
All right. Make me an investigation check, please.
That is a 33.
All right, there are no traps on this door. Just a very sturdy lock.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not 33. That was just a 28. Sorry.
Only a 28. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot.
Okay.
Because usually I have double proficiency for some specific things. Okay. Good to know. It should be good.
Very good. Then I shall attempt to pick the lock.
All right. Go ahead.
And I rolled a 27.
The lock, though it is large and clunky, is absolutely nothing to your skills. It just pops right open. And the door opens up, revealing a staircase down.
Alright, let's go.
Is it dark?
It is dark.
Jaffer will pull out her ever-burning torch that she had stolen. Well, I guess it was stolen, taken,
Looted.
looted. There we go. That's the adventuring term. And head down.
Alrighty. It is not a particularly long stairway. And you get to the bottom of it, and there is a small little antechamber. You've got some various sundries and storage down here, and then there is another door at the far end. Has another padlock on it.
Double locks. I want to know what's in there.
Jaffa, would you like to check for traps again?
Gladly.
And I'm sorry to disappoint those in chat, but I do not roll dice with my beak. They are a choking hazard.
It's a 22.
All right. Sorry, I just now had a mental image of Crackers accidentally choking on dice. And that is very smart. Don't put dice in your beak. All you birds out there, that's very important. You do not see any physical traps on this door. You do feel a faint tingle of magic, though, when you are exploring it.
It's magical. Hold on. Jaffer will pull out some tools and kind of protractor size up where she thinks the enchantment is. Do I think I could pinpoint where it is?
You think you could pinpoint it? It seems to be the entire door itself has got some sort of magic on it.
Okay. So she'll draw out what she can and dispel magic on the door.
Right. Please roll me a spellcaster check.
That's a d20 plus my intelligence, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7.
The magic does not fade. It's still there, lingering.
Hold on. She pulls her tools and like shakes them around. Then she's gonna cast Dispel Magic again.
All right.
You got this.
Okay, that's a 21.
The magic fades.
Oh, okay, good. I don't want to look stupid in front of you guys. You know, I've never done that before. Should be good.
None of us have ever done that.
Definitely not. Not a one.
You're definitely not the stupid member of the group.
Thank you. It's Coral, right?
Thank you
And
very
I
much for the
shall-
follow.
I shall roll to pick the lock,
Alrighty.
and I rolled an 18.
The lock has successfully been picked. And the door opens.
What's inside here?
As you enter the room, the smell of damp and decay fill your nostrils.
Oh no, not again.
There is a wooden box in the center of the room, about 7 feet long, 3 feet wide, 2 feet tall. And as you walk in, there's a slight creaking noise as the lid of the box begins to open.
No. I did not sign up for vampires. I hide behind Fortune.
I'm invisible still.
I hide behind Gwillin.
Jaffer turns and contemplates whether Cracker's beak would just get sharper or if he actually would grow fangs.
Well, now I'm curious.
And then you see a hand come around the side of the wooden box. Long fingers with sharp claws on the end, kind of wrapping around as this creature
Swords.
begins to rise from it.
Golden just immediately, both swords, calls them to her heads. No, I don't like it.
Oh, what have we here? Friends?
That depends entirely upon context. Who might you be?
My name is Zolak. Thank you for releasing me from my prison. You're not one of Scaren's crew. I can see that.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You
Are you
Thank you for the follow.
for hire?
Really? We really ought to talk about
Great
this.
opportunity. Are you kidding me?
I mean, valid.
It
Those nails are on
depends on what you're looking for.
So the building we're in is in Andrews's building, right? This is Andrews's house.
Yep.
Andrews is supposed to be a good person, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anders has trapped a vampire in their basement.
Or someone in
Anders.
Anders' family had trapped a vampire in their basement.
Couple of questions. How long have you been down here? And who locked you away?
Oh, it's been decades, I imagine.
I still might have been around.
Oh, some cleric of St. Cuthbert or whatever. She was very, very insistent, but she wasn't able to stop me completely. But here I am, and the door is now open. I suppose.
How do
Hmm?
you feel about rent?
How does one feel about the gods when they are undead? None of them are particularly who I'd like to meet on any given day.
What about Orcus?
No, thank you.
It's a good answer.
I mean, we could work with
2
this.
for 2.
yeah,
2 for 2.
I mean, not bad. Jeffers like backing away towards the door, and to close it with the intention of locking it behind them.
Oh, don't go. I've been so lonely.
Okay. Why are you here? Why were you locked in?
Because I can't leave. I'm stuck. It's terribly boring to be stuck in a cellar.
I would imagine.
Valid.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I was only doing what I had to survive. I mean, is it my fault if the occasional fishing vessel went missing while I was hungry? I try to be a good person, but one does have to eat.
Has Jaffer been able to close the door and lock it?
Are you trying to leave before you close the door and lock it?
I'm trying to lock this because you're in with us.
Make me a sleight of hand. Are you trying to be stealthy about it? Or are you just trying to do it?
I mean,
If you're trying to be
whatever's
stealthy, make me a
efficient.
sleight of hand check. Tell you what, you let me free, and I'll give you all the juicy details on what Scaren's been up to.
12.
He rolled an 8, so you're good. You have successfully locked the door, and he has not noticed.
What exactly would you want to do with your freedom, aside from obviously not be trapped in a boring cellar?
Well, honestly, I'd kind of like to leave Saltmarsh. It wasn't my choice to come here in the first place, and no offense, but it's not exactly the most intellectually stimulating of areas.
I hear you
Valid.
there.
Usually got my books while we were out sailing, so that's a valid point.
You know, this vampire is actually quite reasonable. I was not expecting.
Oh, well, thank you. I do try to be entertaining. You are the first people I've spoken to in decades. It would be bad form just to take a nibble.
Terribly bad form. Especially if we agree to, let you out and make a trade there about information. Nibbling
Oh.
on your friends, not really the best.
No.
You know, we're friends right now. I mean,
I only nibble on my friends when they ask nicely.
same.
Not, yeah.
It's important.
Do we have a deal? You let me out and I give you information.
We let you
Could-
out, you leave Saltmarsh, and we get the
Sorry, the last bit of your sentence cut out. What was the last bit?
information you were offering.
Yes.
I can work with that, to be honest.
The
All
other
right.
two of you are very quiet.
Oh, I'm okay with it. As long as.
Yeah, I mean, understandably so. You're gonna probably hurt people, and I don't like that. But we're kind of in a tough situation.
Yes.
Well, I try not to be particularly destructive, if that helps.
Helps for me.
Do I get the feeling that Zolak is going to operate within our best interests?
Make me an insight check.
$19.
He is. You get the idea that if he makes a deal with you, he will absolutely abide by the deal that he makes. He is probably trying to skirt the edges of abiding by the spirit, by abiding by the letter of your deal, not necessarily the spirit of the deal.
I would assume that. I mean, simply because of Gwilyn's nature.
I mean, I'm above the initial logic of like no bad undead You know, you're a vampire, right? Or is it a improper word?
Well, I mean, if you have to put a label on it, I suppose, yes.
Now, this place has been ransacked by Scarin anyways, right? Who's to say that Scarin didn't do this?
Didn't trap a vampire in his basement?
No, let you out.
Oh.
You know, we could blame it on the person that we don't like.
Well, there's this one little problem. See, I can't leave unless somebody pure of heart carries me over that threshold. So,
Of course
then you're
not.
in
You're
real
couldn't be
trouble.
Scarin.
Right? I don't
Yeah.
know if we can help
I
you.
mean, you're
Oh.
you're kind of lucked out, friend. I mean,
I absolutely cannot. No.
None of you are pure of heart at all. I didn't say you had to be pure of body, just of heart.
Not really.
Depending
I've got
upon
several.
definition.
I've got several coats in my bag. I took them for no reason. I just want them.
Generally speaking, you're far too large for me to lift.
I could become a bat, and then maybe you could carry me that way.
What would
Yeah, I'm
happen?
not sure I qualify for the other part either.
Damn.
What would happen if someone tried and they couldn't?
You know, I don't know. All I know is that when this cleric of Saint who's a what's it trapped me in here, cast a spell on that door that meant that only someone pure of heart could carry me out.
Oh, I dispelled that.
Excellent. So
I mean, what?
It's
Thinking out loud.
oh well,
Like-
then that's not a problem at all, is it?
My only other thought was maybe another cleric could do it, but again, none of us can help with that.
I'm above clerics, it's fine. Well, Zolak, I think we've come to a consensus that you are free to go as long as you give us information on Skin that we, like.
I will add, since I'm guessing you're probably interested in a snack on the way out, I do have some qualifications about that. If they're, aside from Manistrad, if they're with Skerrin, especially if you know they're working with Skerrin, or Skerrin himself, go for it. I don't really care, to be honest.
So
Avoid
if they're wearing red, have a little snack.
Hey,
But
if
not
they've
me.
got that right, red hair not counting here. But
no, wearing
you get the idea.
Not born with or magically enhanced in any way. No, clothing only.
Right, none of our friends are wearing that, right?
None of
Yeah,
you in the
Fortune-
room are wearing red.
Fortune does wear red, but he's, like he said, not me.
Avoid the miners.
Tell you what,
They
I will
have enough
not
trouble.
take a bite out of anyone who hails from Saltmarsh.
Okay,
I feel like
Again.
there's strict there, but
not me.
No, you are one of my rescuers. That would be hardly nice of me to take a bite out of you.
I feel like I can work within those rules, though.
Sounds like we have an agreement. So,
Excellent.
what can you tell us about Skerin's doings?
Well, Scarron has been in league with a gentleman by the name of Reike Esso. He's kind of a awful undead thing, to be honest. Terrible bore at parties. All he wants is rinth that and rinth this, and ugh, really, I can't be bothered with him. Anyway, so Scarron has given Anders over to Reike as a prodigy of some sort. They made a deal together. There's some sort of mineral they found at the mines that they think that he could use to increase his power and the power of Rinth. So between the two of them, Scarron's been making sure that all of the air shell has never reached the Monarch. In fact, none of the mine's proceeds have reached the Monarch.
Really?
It's all been going to this Esco fellow. They've been sending letters to the monarch saying that the pirate princes have returned and are stealing the shipments, therefore putting Saltmarsh square in the middle of a pirate and kingdom battle, in the hopes that the town itself is destroyed, and then they can rebuild it in the name of their Lady Rinth.
I don't like it. She's terrible architecture. It smells bad. I just don't like it.
Darling, spider motifs only go so far.
They
Someone
do.
really should tell her.
I mean,
Also-
at first, just a few, it's like, oh, that's a good look. But then it's just too.
Also, building 8 of everything just seems wasteful.
It is very wasteful indeed.
Carrying an aesthetic just too far.
Hmm.
Do you know anything else about the lovely friends there in red?
I know that
Scarlet
they are all part of the cult that worships Rinth and that are trying to install her upon the throne of the realm. Their idea is first the salt marsh, then the kingdom, and then the island of bones, and then the world. Honestly, it's just all too much trouble.
Sounds like.
Well, I'm satisfied.
Same. So far as you know, the monarch not getting all these shipments, how involved are they in this business? Are they just being duped?
My understanding is that Esco used to be one of the monarch's advisors, and that's when he learned of all of the potential in this mine. And then he left and has been taking precautions ever since to continue halting the flow of resources to the capital.
Sounds about right. Well, I think you've been very helpful.
Thank you, I do try. It's been so nice talking to someone. Being able to only hear for the last several decades has been rather frustrating.
I can imagine it would be.
And rats aren't particularly tasty.
No, they are not.
Do you need
Haven't.
help bringing your coffin out?
Oh, well, that is very kind of you, but no, no need. Once I am able to be airborne, I will be far, far away from here.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll let you be on. We should be on our way as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Aye, we should go. Best of luck.
Yes, I do believe someone is coming. You might want to hurry.
Noted. Let's get out of here.
Jeff unlocks the door.
After you.
If the person who's here, who's come here, is Scarin or one of those Scarlet Brotherhood freaks, feel free to have a bite or two.
Aye, we're fine with that.
Noted.
Okay, bye.
Ta.
And Jeff will contemplate her actions and wonder if what she did was a bad thing. She'll eventually come to terms with the fact that she did nothing wrong, but she'll think about it.
Before we leave the house, I would like to grab something small belonging to Anne.
Okay. There are several different family heirlooms out and about. It would be fairly simple and easy to grab something in pocket.
Ooh, a commemorative salt shaker. I shall take this.
Perfect. Perfect. The shape
Shaped
of
like
a little mushroom.
turtle.
Oh,
Or mushroom.
turtle. I like
Nice.
that better. Whichever one you want, turtle or mushroom. Just let me know which.
Same turtle with a mushroom on its back.
Perfect. All right. So you have gotten your commemorative salt shaker. You have let the vampire out of the basement. And a few minutes later, you see a little bit of vapor just kind of making its way out the front door.
I shall have to contemplate using that as a new euphemism, letting the vampire out of the basement.
We'll work on it. By the way, I found some paperwork on Rick Esco.
Well, let's
Oh,
walk and
yeah?
talk.
I've got a book to look over later too, but I didn't want to take the time.
Should we should go back.
We should probably look at all of that somewhere safe, not out.
Good point.
Good job though, everyone.
Yeah, well done.
All right. Where are you heading? Are you heading back to Motley's? Are you heading down into Torma's? Where is it that you are going to consider safe for the evening?
We should really head back to Tolma's.
Agreed. That would be like the safest place to go. I think we're done for today.
Aye.
Alrighty. So I'm assuming you guys are stealthing your way back. So I'd like you all
Yes.
to roll stealth checks for me, please.
Am I still invisible? It lasts for an hour.
When did you go invisible? When you went inside the house, or when you were in the
When we first entered the office and the at the other place.
your invisibility is just about up.
8.
25.
14.
All right. Let's see how receptive they are. You narrowly managed to get back to Torma's without incident. That there are a few very tense moments as you all hurriedly press up against a building as 6 men led by Scarin with torches come walking by an alley adjacent to where you are. And you make your way back. And you settle in for the evening. Is there anything you do before you go to bed?
Jaffer reminds Gwilyn about the armor that she made.
Gwilyn quickly goes to find the armor. If she hadn't done that, I wasn't sure with how they had to leave last time, but she goes and gets the armor and she's really, really excited. I love it! This looks amazing. How'd you get that detail work? That was great.
I'll show you some time. It takes about an hour, 10 minutes, an hour.
Well, thank you for that, Jaffer. She gave her a hug. Oh, don't let me forget, I stole you some air shell while we were in there.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's what friends are for.
Well, I mean, my cheeks are flushed for some reason. Okay, well, have a good night. Bye. And she just scampers off.
You too. Gwilyn will look over that book.
All right.
Dead one. Dread one.
So you learn that the inner depths of the Dreadwood is where the planar bindings between the prime material and the Shadowfell are very thin, letting all sorts of undead creatures kind of leak into the landscape. There are quite a few denizens. There are owl bears, wolves, a few bandit gangs. The dreaded depths are where the most of the citizens live. There are some jackal wares, green hags, a couple oni, and some vampires that live there as well, all under the rule of a ancient hag named Granny Nightshade. There is also a warning not to sleep in the forest if you can avoid it.
That's important to know, especially. All right. Well, let's hope they're not too far in.
Fortune passes on what we found out to Galen. He specifically tells him because has some suspicions about people. Figured he should be the one to tell him.
When you tell him, his eyes kind of go dark for a little bit, and he just kind of nods. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you going to be okay?
I'll be fine. Just have bigger fish to fry at the moment.
Do you think that we could get Anders back?
I think it's possible. If you get there in time, I think you might be able to. I don't know what he is planning. I don't know how far gone things are. It'll be a take it as it comes, I guess.
Unfortunately, just puts an arm around his shoulders. It's fine. We don't have to talk about it anymore. Planning can be tomorrow. Whatever.
Planning can definitely wait for tomorrow. Will you stay with me tonight?
Of course.
Thank you. And we will fade to black on that scene. Does anyone have anything else they would like to do before we go to the next day?
I shall see if Torma is still around. Or Motley, whichever form she's in.
She's in Motley, as it seems to be less intimidating to you all.
Motley, dear, do you by chance have a crystal bowl or a scrying mirror?
Oh, let me see. I've got something. Let's see. And she kind of toddles over her little Modron form, teetering as she jumps on a couple of different stools and is flinging open cupboards, and it starts pulling stuff out of this cupboard that just is impossibly big. There's little things that are coming out first, and then she starts pulling huge, like, contraptions out. Like, how is she fitting that in this tiny cupboard? But then, like, a suit of armor goes flying past, and then she pulls out a crystal ball and goes, "Oh, here you go," and hops down and goes, "Yeah, will this work?"
Yes, that should be fine.
Excellent.
I would say you have everything but the kitchen sink in there, but I'm pretty sure I saw you throw a kitchen sink.
Well, maybe. It's possible. I have lots of things in there.
Oh, very good. If you wouldn't mind setting that.
Oh, of course.
And I shall pull out the little salt shaker and set it next to the crystal ball. And over the next 10 minutes, I shall cast a scrying spell to try and locate and.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Let me look up Scry spell really quickly. It's been a little bit.
Should
Okay.
he wish to resist, it is a wisdom saving throw.
I don't believe he knows that you're casting it at this point, so I believe you're all right. So it goes ahead and it goes through. So you've got pretty much everything. You know him well. You've got a possession. Yeah. So unless you roll a natural 1, the scry will go through. So I'm not even gonna make you roll it. Alrighty. Your vision goes to a tunnel point. This ball of light just kind of zips forward from your consciousness, and you watch as you go up into the sky, just like you were flying overhead, but at a impossible speed. You see all of the coastline and a great big expanse of dark green woods. As the ball of light goes faster and faster, you crash and careen through trees till you come to the depths, a huge gargantuan tower reaching up, made from gnarled branches of a tree, all blackened, drooping and desiccated. And then you're inside it. You pass through into a small cell where you see Anders hugging his knees to his chest as you hear the dripping of some sort of liquid. Maybe tree sap, the inner workings of the tree, or just damp from whatever condensation of the cold. He seems unhurt, but definitely trapped and a little confused. Do you continue the spell?
Yes. And I shall like to move the sensor out of the cell to see what is.
Alright. You move it outside slowly, and you see a winding staircase made from the same dark wood, circling higher and higher upward. As you climb it, you begin to hear the creaking of metal as an immense figure begins to descend the staircase. You see dark, tarnished silver and bronzed armor, full plate head to toe, a giant broadsword strapped to the back, a skeletal hand holding a torch, and deep red glowing eyes. Before you hear a murmured word and your spell dissipates. And you're back inside
Oh.
yourself.
Well, that was only mildly terrifying.
What did you see? Anything exciting?
Well, Anders is alive.
Well, that's good.
He appears to be being kept prisoner in some type of large, gnarled tree tower. I'm not sure if that's in any way familiar to you in the Dreadwood.
Ooh, that's not a good place. That's near the dreaded depths. You'll have to be careful.
And I believe I just caught a glimpse of Mr. Esco. Well, whatever I saw had a very Death Knight-y appearance.
Ooh. That sounds, a little scary. No, thank you. Well, at least when I'm like this, no, thank you. If I'm in my other form, then bring it on.
Ah, all right. Well, I appreciate your assistance. Have a good evening, Motley.
You too, Crackers. Sleep well.
And I shall call it a night.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Thank you very much for the follow. All right, so anyone else doing anything this evening, or shall we skip forward?
Would Crackers have shared that he found diamonds?
We haven't really shared what we found, so probably in the morning.
Gwilyn would find Vareed and tell him about the family being out. Because shared via kind of adoption into the crew. And what her mother is up to. And where they're going tomorrow. So, just so you know.
Right.
Watch my pets.
Always, I will happily watch your pet. Are you gonna be okay?
Of course I am. Always okay. It's me.
For this up. I know
But-
it's you. I worry.
I'll be fine. Thank you.
You know, this is probably not the best time to say anything, but after all this is over, do you you want to get a drink sometime?
I'd like that. I was wondering how long it'd take you to ask. I know I could have, but I wanted to see how long it would take you. You know I'm a bad bargain. I mean, frankly, like, just putting that out there. I'm never actually leaving this life. But
Who says I want to?
in that case, you're always welcome. I have a ship now that isn't attached to my mother.
Yeah.
I have plans for that. You know, assuming we all live, which
Well, there's that.
I'd
Well,
like
you
to-
better, because now you're getting a drink with me after.
just not like that horrible lobster. Why?
No.
That's disgusting.
No.
No,
No claw wine. No claw wine.
not that.
We'll find something else.
Sounds good.
Get some rest.
You too. Don't forget to spoil my children while I'm away.
I will absolutely spoil the children while you're away.
I still haven't told Mum about the Kraken. I mean, that's going to be a fun conversation. It just doesn't seem like the time.
Hey, Mom, I adopted a freshwater kraken. Just think of how awesome they'll be as part of our fleet.
Right.
Can't go wrong, right? I mean, it's gonna be simple. It's just boom. there you
Totally. Totally. Just like all the others I've adopted is going to go so well. You were there,
Mhm.
you remember.
go. Oh yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, Mom. Why can't I have the flying fish? What do you mean it has to be inside the water all the time? It flies. Clearly, it lives on air. Yeah, that went over
Right?
really well.
I mean, it's in the name. It's improperly named. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. And I'll spoil them rotten.
Thank you. Knew I could count on you.
Just be safe, please.
You too. She'll start to walk away, walk back, give him a brief kiss on the cheek, and then walk away without saying.
He waits what he thinks is an acceptable amount of time before he turns around and just goes, yes, 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 and then runs off. And I think that is a fitting... I don't know. If you want to roll a perception check, you can, but he wasn't trying to be quiet.
Jaffer just has something she's going to do before I go to bed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, your boy's not subtle. Subtlety is not his strong point.
She just chuckles and keeps walking.
Alright, what is Jaffer up to?
So Jaffer is she has collected what air shale she has received, and she's kind of staring at it. Like she has read about air shale a little bit, and she begins to scrawl out a little magic circle with the air shale in the center. And she puts her smith's tools out, and she's like, it's probably not going to work the way that I wanted to. But she casts Fabricate to make the air shale into a figurine shape of like a little person.
Okay.
Has she read about the Goa?
Give me a history check. The Goa are still fairly secretive at this
23.
point in time. 23? You have met a couple of Goa. However, how Goa are created is still a mystery. But you do know of a few Goa, yes.
Is she aware that they are made of air shale?
Yes, she's aware that they are made of air shell.
Then that's what she does. She makes a little figurine about. Well, she probably doesn't have enough to make as big as her, but maybe about a little bit shorter than her. And she just stares at it and smiles. I'm happy with her work.
Okay. So you create this figurine out of air shale. What sort of features do you give it?
It looks like her. Just a copy of her, complete with a mohawk that is like chiseled into it.
All right. So you have a small figurine of yourself. And thank you for the raider. Welcome, raiders. About this time, Motley comes poking her head into the room. You should probably get some sleep, Jaffer. It's a big day tomorrow.
Good point. Thanks, Molly.
Good night, friend.
Night.
And you guys settle in for a restful night. Or as restful as it can be. The day breaks early in the morning, and Manistrad arrives with a cart full of items, which for our viewers' sake, I will have you guys decide what it is you would like off screen. So it doesn't turn into a shopping episode, but if there's something that you need tonight that comes up, let me know. But within reason, you guys can pick a rare magic item of your choice. I will entertain very rare as well if you run it by me first, please. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, what is it you do now that you have your items to prepare? Do you discuss any of the things you found? Or what is it you'd like to do?
Yes, I shall pull out the various letters and papers that I took, as well as the scrolls and diamonds, and share them with the rest of the group.
That's lovely. Gwilyn will also set out the book, and since she needs less sleep at night, she read the whole thing, but she'll give them like an abridged version with the important details, like the bit about the depths and not sleeping in the wood.
One of protection from evil and a scroll of raised dead. The diamonds are worth 500 gold.
It was Raised Dead and what other one?
A protection from good evil.
Cool. And are all the diamonds? Is just the complete worth is 500, or is there separate ones that are worth 500?
The complete worth is 500.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm trying to get everything down.
Oh no, it's all right. I also have notes made so I can put it into our chat later. So as you are all looking over, Coral comes back from the lizard folk. She meets you there. Sorry it took me a little bit of time. They'll be here in a couple of days.
That's great. It's good to see you again. I was a little concerned.
It's good to see you
Give
too.
her-
What have we found out? Anything exciting or interesting?
Oh, loads of things. You missed a vampire. We
Found
talked
a
to
vampire.
That was interesting. Hey, Ender's basement. Who knew?
Why was there a vampire in Ender's basement?
Right, there's so many things we don't know about this town in people's basements. I feel like I should just, I hate to say break in, but just sort of take a peek in everyone's house just to know what kind of things are going on down there. I feel like we could save a lot of time on things going wrong down the road if I knew what was down there. Just say.
I think you gotta be careful about who you ask what you got in some people's basements. People might be thinking that you're looking at their bum.
That's a good point.
That's a fair point.
Can you imagine going up to someone, hey there, what you got in your basement?
Works sometimes.
Can you say it works sometimes? Works sometimes, okay. So apparently, that's how Gellin, you go over to Gellin, hey baby, what you got in your basement? That's how that works? Oh my,
It's a joke.
I know.
Jaffer will regale Coral with pretty much everything that we did with the mines and all that shenanigans.
Yeah, they'll catch her up on what's going on.
Ah. You're welcome, Ready to Nap. You're welcome. So, we've got our things. We've got a plan of where we're going. Is there anything else we need to look into before we leave? What about that metal Ingo, the drover? Or is that something we can explore when we get back? I'm not sure what the pertinence is.
That's a good point.
I mean, it might be a good idea to check it, before we leave.
It might.
Something about movement for Fresco. It seems like he might have gone back to wherever he was. The movement might have been taking others, but it would be good to check.
Well, whatever we do, we better
did
be
I mention
cautious.
that I scried on Anders last night?
No, you left that out.
Oh, yes. Motley was kind enough to provide me with a scrying a crystal ball, and I scryed at him. Found him in a very intimidating-looking place, a tower made of twisted trees, which Motley says is quite near the what did you call it again?
Oh, it's the dreaded depths. That.
Oh, that's not good. I read about those.
Yes, but he's being held in a cell in that tower, and I believe I caught sight of Esco, or at least something that looked very Dread Knight-y.
Ooh.
Well, great.
So as of last night, he was in the tower with Anders.
Well, that's not good.
That does make me wonder if we need to go save Anders a bit faster too.
Yes.
Well, there's still an Anders to save. Insofar as I've known him, he's been a good person. So I'd hate to leave him to that.
We should try to focus on getting him back. If he's there for too long, then he would become like Esco. And I think that he deserves better than that.
Have to say I agree with that.
Well, whatever you think is best. There
Would it be a good
is.
idea for me to let
What?
Anders know that we're coming?
Oh, I think that'd be a great idea.
Aye, if he seemed like he was still himself, then letting him know if there's a way he can resist it, knowing that there's help coming, could potentially keep him going a bit longer. As it stands, he has no way of knowing that we're even aware of his situation, so I say go.
Yes. I presume from what we know of the Dreadwood that we're within 500 miles of where that tower was.
Correct.
Very well. I shall cast Project Image and create an illusory image of myself within that cell where Anders was.
All right. You pop into that same cell. The wood just as gnarled and black as it was in your scry last night. Anders is still huddled on a little blanket, his eyes heavy lidded and almost closed. Looks like he's fighting sleep.
I shall approach and quietly say to him, Anders, do you hear me?
I hear you.
How are you?
I'm tired. I don't. Are you really here, or is it my brain playing tricks on me again?
Neither, really. This is just a spell that allows me to communicate over distance. We are aware of where you are. We're coming to rescue you. Can you hold out for a few more days?
I'll try. Be careful. The woods are an awful place.
So we've heard.
Is there anything you can do to keep me awake? I don't want to sleep again.
I can try. I consult how long this spell lasts. Yeah, I can. I can actually stay with you for the rest of the day, if that would help.
I want to be selfish and say yes, but if you're coming, you're gonna need your focus on getting here, probably. I can hold out. Knowing you're coming helps. Don't trust Scarin.
Oh no, we're well aware of what he's all about. In your time here, have you gotten any sense of what Esco is up to? What he plans to do with you? Why he took you?
Something about needing a conduit, a focus for the air shell and its power. I don't know what that means.
It doesn't sound good.
No.
Give me just a moment,
Okay.
and I shall leave the senses of my illusion and return to my own, and say, well, he's alive. He is struggling not to sleep. I can only imagine he's been there for some time. I told him that we are coming. He will try to hold out for the next few days, but he is not in a good state.
Well, that puts a bit of urgency on saving him then.
Agreed.
So
You could describe that lovely creature we found in its nasty decomposing flesh thing in the Rinth cult. I mean, that'd probably keep him up. It's not the best of things, but it's an idea.
Fair enough.
Make me not want to sleep.
This particular spell I'm using, I can maintain concentration on it for a day. But while I am conversing with him, I am unable to use any of my senses here in my physical body. So, if you would be so kind as to just, very gently carry me along with you, and
You could do that.
If
maintain my connection with him.
we need you, can we? I don't know. Ruffle your feathers.
Well, would message work since your body is here?
The spell only blinds and deafens me, so if you really need me,
Right.
give me a good...
People squeeze.
Do not squeeze me.
There
Wait,
is
neither
a
of you.
raucous ship's bell that echoes through the caverns.
What was that? Is that some of our help, maybe? She'll run out to go find out what's going on.
I mean, Militia's supposed to be here today, yeah?
Yes, the militia is supposed to be here today. Goblin, as you run down, you see 3 ships. 2 bear the colors of the Isle of Pleasures, and a 3rd ship has colors that you saw once before, but they're not the cross quarter.
Looks like it's our friends.
Oh, the one who took that boat. Stowaway.
I think it's the
Oh,
ones who are
she-
looking for the stowaway.
Aye, she'd have the cross quarters then.
Yes.
So this would be the
They-
formerly the crew of the cross quarters.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Then we're not leaving them completely without while we're out finding Anders and saving him. They've at least got part of the crew here. Just the lizard folk in a few days.
Do we need to give them any instruction before we leave?
You should probably catch them up a little bit just to let them know who to talk to, make sure everyone knows. I assume Gillen's staying? Or is he coming with us?
I was planning on staying.
That's fine.
You need hands here as well who can fight.
That would do. Leave it to you and Manistrad. Is there anything you need us to tell them specifically before we go?
Not that I can think of, but it would be good to have you greet them at least.
Of course. We're the
Perhaps
ones
we
they know to
can
expect.
organize a rescue of Etta and Eleander.
Aye, that'd be helpful.
Every little bit helps.
Well, let's go welcome our guests.
Crackers, do you stay in your body for right now, or do you go back to Anders, or will you wait until you leave to go back to Anders?
I'll stay in myself for now.
Right, so you all make your way down to the little cove area where the ships are beginning to unload. The midday sun is beginning to stream in through the opening, casting pleasant shadows on the water and little sparkles of light. Down from the Mistborn, the ship that the two crews were on, Fortune, you see your old captain and another broad-shouldered individual coming down, wearing a very largely plumed hat. Seem to be the two captains. And standing right behind them, just off to one side, is a woman, and the sun reflects warmly off her. The sun is reflecting off her rich.
You say.
Yes, off her rich umber-toned skin. She has thick, curly black hair, which is tied back in many, many braids and in a colorful bandana. She looks over at you all and she smiles. She's got this very regal bearing to her. She stands very straight. There's something about her posture that is a little incongruous with her attire. And when she smiles, you see these big dimples just kind of light up her face underneath this galaxy of freckles sprinkled across her bronze cheeks.
Jeffrey tries to mimic her stance, but being a gnome, it's like childish almost.
She seems very intent on watching your faces. And the two
Welcome.
captains come forward, and she follows not far behind. Thank you. One of the captains speaks. Thank you. It is. We received your message. It's a little unexpected, but happy to oblige.
Glad you could make it. It's a bit of an odd situation all around.
It is. The woman kind of positions herself between the captains and you so she can watch the conversation going on.
I don't believe we've met, Gullen Hayes. Captain Gullen Hayes.
Jaffer, give me a name for one of these captains here.
I'm that player.
Captain Sturm Stormscale.
Okay. And Fortune. What type of folk is Captain Stormscale? Scale. What is his ancestry? Their ancestry, I should say.
They're human, but they do have like blue scales up on their cheeks.
And Crackers. Is this captain male, female, non-binary? What is their gender?
They are. Yeah, we'll say they are.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. They're
Male.
male, okay. And Fortune, you recognize your old captain, and he smiles at you. Captain Devon. It is Devon, right? Or was it
Doran.
Doran? Sorry, I wrote it down wrong.
The half orc with the ear tip cut off on one side.
Captain Doran. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
How can we be of service? Oh, sorry.
It's okay, I'm used to it. Captain Jaffer Zanzib.
Captain.
She's very good at it. Very envious of her ship, to be honest.
Yes.
The woman gives you a warm smile and just places a hand on your shoulder in acknowledgement.
Your name, ma'am?
Oh, she looks at you and she gives a little smile, and she turns to Captain Stormscale, who says, "Oh, this is my first mate, Seraphina."
Pleasure.
Do
She
what you
nods
want
to you.
'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Thank you for the follow.
Am I with the group for these
You are.
introductions?
You are with the group for the introductions.
And this is my Seraphina?
This is your Seraphina. Does keep looking over at you and smiling.
Did Crackers actually make that sound?
Yes.
Gwilyn turns to stare. I don't believe I've ever seen the Lord Admiral lost for words.
Oh.
You say Lord Admiral, and Seraphina's face just opens up with this huge grin. There is mirth and laughter in her eyes as you say that. And a little bit of pride.
Kind of tap on Cracker's beak, like, did he leave?
Alright then.
Um, I'm not sure. And I shall, in my own sort of version of sign language, sign to her, Lady Serafina.
She signs back. My crackers. It is good to see you.
I've missed you very much.
I missed you.
I'm going to fly over and perch on her shoulder.
She reaches a hand up and just immediately starts giving you a little scritch. Just like she used to. And kind of nuzzles her cheek against your feathers.
I don't think I've ever seen him cuddle before. It's adorable.
This.
We've been replaced. I feel kind of betrayed, but also kind of happy. I don't know.
Or
Either way.
Right?
that ship is now one of the Lord Admiral's ships.
That's true.
I mean, technically, all the ships are Lord Admiral ships.
Yes.
He has a fleet now.
She raises an eyebrow at you. She's still watching your conversation, but there is a bit of a raised eyebrow of, oh, really?
Well,
There's
with all of
there is
you-
definitely mirth in her gaze. She's not upset or anything like that. More amusement.
Aye, he's been very good at his job lately. Lately because it's new to him. But you know, does it well. We're glad to have him with us.
She begins to sign to Crackers along the lines of, he's always been excellent at his job and an indispensable ally and friend.
Well, should we discuss more pressing matters?
No, let's just focus. Let's just focus on this. As you get mildly to moderately uncomfortable with it.
We're well
I
past
like that
that
idea.
point.
Oh, good. Don't worry, I'll remember this in great detail.
So, to catch you all up, I believe the concept is that the Monarch's troops are coming here. I think that's correct, unless I dreamt that. And we would ask you to defend Saltmarsh?
keep them away if possible,
Yeah.
right?
Potentially help rescue the council members that are still here covertly. A small group to do that. You'd be with Gillen. Manistrad is aware of your coming here to help us out. Beyond that, my mother, not really told anyone else here, but those people you can trust.
Excellent. Captain Doran speaks. We can be of service there. If the Monarch's men are coming, are they here to... What are they here to? Have they been told that there is a rebellion? Why are they descending upon you, is my question. That was unclear.
Well, absolutely none of the stuff from the mine, including this new air shell, has been passed along to the Monarch. That's going elsewhere.
They're blaming you.
Will us being here cause issues then?
If they've got issues with you,
At this
then
point,
if they see you outside of the city, then they might not actually descend on the people here that have done nothing.
I think the idea is that we want you to cause a bit of dissent. So we want you to, be a presence against.
if it all possible.
You want us to cause a bit of chaos, raise some ruckus, give the
Right.
people a
Not-
bit of a infusion of spirit, perhaps?
Yes.
Sure.
I encourage a bit of rebellion. Never hurt anybody, but not actually harm the common people, as it were. They're not at fault here, and if we can get those who can't fight out, we'd like to get them somewhere safe, and maybe rally those who can to help us out, which you could also potentially do.
Right. Okay. Evacuate those who can't fight, rally those who can. Rescue the captured council members and prepare for imminent battle with the troops of the monarch. Is there anyone in town that we should be aware of and do battle with on your behalf?
Scare and Wave Chaser, right? Is that correct?
I Scarin and
The
those
Scarlet
with
Brotherhood.
him.
Yeah.
Aye.
The Scarlet Brotherhood.
If you see a red sash, that's probably a bad sign aside from fortune here. It's not the same. That was a wardrobe choice.
I'm aware of Fortune's wardrobe choices.
Many people are.
Very well. I think that this is doable. In return, I would like some information.
Naturally.
Who stole my ship?
I'm forgetting the name right now.
None of you asked her name. You have no
I wasn't
idea.
Not there.
I thought she told us something. I swear we knew something.
See, the people who constantly ask everyone's name and try to recruit them weren't there.
You have some details about the type of person she was,
Only-
what she looks like, but that's it.
I only kind of remember, but I can. Yeah. The specifics I don't really remember, but yeah. We'll pass on what I do know.
Is anyone able to give me a written description, a picture perhaps? That would be helpful.
I shall cast Minor Illusion and make a 3-foot tall image of her.
As far as my notes say, she has russet hair, a tricorn hat, and pirate clothes, unless it's someone else.
Yep, that sounds like her.
I make the minor image dab.
Well then.
That actually puts that into great detail in my mind. I know who that is, and she has been a thorn in my side for years. Excellent.
What is her name then, if you know it?
Oakstar fancies herself a captain.
Is that familiar at all to Quillen?
It is not familiar to Gwilyn.
Just checking. Noted.
Captain Oakstar is a unknown at this point in time. She may or may not make an appearance at a different point. I am unsure.
But she's a known unknown.
She is a known unknown.
As opposed to be unknown, right?
Do what you want, cause a pirate
Looks
is
like
free.
Billy.
You lot of pirates.
Thank you for the
Always
follow.
dangerous.
Indeed.
Unknown. I don't like it. I like knowing about things.
All right. Well, I think we can definitely help out a bit.
Thank you for that. You
Hey.
didn't have to, but
What are old friends for?
I mean, technically, if they didn't help and we didn't manage this without them, they'd probably not like the whole worship Rinth undead,
no.
much death thing either.
I can't say it's something I would look forward to.
You really can't. It smells terrible. Don't join the cults. They apparently stink. Please,
I'm a
this
little
one
afraid
does.
to ask how you understand the olfactory requirements for cults.
Well, I'm just saying, all the ones
mean-
we've run across so far,
Exactly.
it's terrible.
Be careful
Also-
when you talk.
Noted.
Maybe it's just deities of undeath. Maybe that's what the problem is.
It could be. Maybe if you choose a cult for something that doesn't involve a death or undeath, then it wouldn't smell so bad.
So no cult of Totex then. Alrighty.
Right.
Serafina kind of just like makes a face of like, ugh, and shivers.
See? She knows. It's terrible.
Right. Well then. You guys go and rescue Anders, head off this Death Knight creature. We'll rally the troops here, lead a bit of rebellion, and smuggle out those who can't help fight. I think this is a good plan.
You say that because you got the fun one, obviously.
Yes.
I'm sure there are all sorts of wild adventures to be had in the Dreadwood.
I wonder if there's any new pets to bring home in the Dreadwood.
I mean, there's a dragon. Maybe there's some like dragon eggs.
Right? Haven't thought on this yet.
I want a dragon.
Me too. I mean, who doesn't, to be fair?
Motley just kind of looks at you and raises a singular eyebrow.
As a friend, I mean, wouldn't steal one from their mum. Just saying.
Right.
If they, unless, you know, their mum was serving rent, in which case, best to get those kids out of that situation.
I'm still getting used to you being a individual of actual fear, Motley. You know, I
What?
feel
This
comfortable around you now. I'm kind of worried.
doesn't inspire fear? She looks down at her little Modron self.
You're terrifying.
It's a
I'm
different kind of fear, like the inevitable, you know, destruction of the universe, kind of like scary.
Yep. Mathematic death of the universe. Just counting it all down. Tick, tock.
You know,
Okay,
when you say it
now
like
I'm
that, the
actually
dragon is
sure.
actually less scary. I like that. Good play.
That was my point. Her little wings just kind of flare out when she laughs like, haha, I win. You know I'm just teasing. I know you wouldn't actually steal my child.
Now, if it hadn't been yours and we couldn't find the mum, we would have raised it. But, like I said, if you find the mum, that's different.
You give them back. It's a good way to
Obviously.
stay alive.
Obviously.
Right.
I'm pretty good at staying alive.
So far,
All of you are. It's why you're fascinating. That's more dragon talk, though. We'll get into that later.
Right.
Look forward to it. Right, so we've got a death knight to kill.
Yeah. Fun.
Aye, loads of it.
By the way, Motley, there was a statue in the room that I had. You could just leave it there.
Sure.
Fantastic.
All your things will be exactly as you left them upon your return.
Much obliged.
Which means I will dust and make sure things are clean. Because there's no dust on it now. Gotta make sure
Nate.
there's no dust on it when you return. It's only logical.
I like that.
Any other questions, captains?
No questions on my end or on mine. I guess the question is the only thing left is when do you leave? Are you planning on leaving now? Do you need some time to prepare? Is there anything you wish to do before you go?
I was just gonna grab my things and go personally.
I mean, we're opting to not go and visit that drover dude.
If you think that we could do it fast, I mean, I do think it's important. I'm just concerned how long Anders can manage.
That's true.
That's fair enough.
We could try sneak in and talk this evening and leave in the morning, I suppose, as a plan, assuming things go accordingly.
Seraphina looks over at Crackers and signs, "Whatever you decide, I'll be here when you get back." I promise.
I sign in return to her. I do not wish to leave you.
You have a job to do. It's important to carry it out. We're all
My
counting on
service
it.
is to you, first and foremost, always.
Then, in service to me, I am asking you to go and accomplish this thing.
If that is what you ask. Just know that it's been 5 very long years that I have missed you. And I shall miss you every moment that we are apart again.
It has been a very long 5 years. And that will make your homecoming even the sweeter when you return. I'm not leaving again without you, I promise.
And I give her cheek a little bird kiss. And I fly over and perch on Fortune's shoulder once more. Alright, well, if we must. Into the jaws of death.
Aye.
All right. And I think that is a good place to leave you for this week. Thank you, everybody, for coming. For those who came and part of a raid and stayed, thank you so much. For those who just discovered us this evening, we are so glad that you came along and joined us. A couple of quick announcements. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday for Shenanigans. The epilogue episode will be next week, so you can find out what the characters have done with the rest of their lives now that the story is over. That will be Tuesday at 7 p.m. PST. There will also be a little bit of a Ask Me Anything with our illustrious DM Logan. Also, the finale of Obscurum happens next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is a noir-inspired City of Mist RPG. You're doing an AMA, Logan. You said you were going to, and therefore I am decreeing that that is happening. And then finally, Shenanigans Campaign 2 will start next month, so be sure to follow our Twitter at WeAreNerdsmith for more information as those release details are becoming available. Thank you to my amazing, amazing players for putting up with my shenanigans, not my shenanigans, although I am in that show on Tuesday nights. But let's talk about where you can find these lovely folks. And let's start with Jaffer.
Hi, I'm Zach. I play Jaffer, as you know. You can find me on Twitter at DuskFayDruid. You can also find me on the Nerdsmith Discord, where I run one-shots. I have one planned for tomorrow if you want to be in it.
Excellent. Gwilyn.
I'm Autumn Blaze, and not this stream's art, because that's Jay, but I have a lot of art, and I have a series of books I'm writing. You can find more about me on Twitter at Lasalanta.
And Fortune.
Hi, I'm Jay. You can find me on Twitter at Jay with 2 Y's. TXT. I did the art for this stream, and I post other stuff. And my commissions are open. Yeah.
Excellent. And Crackers.
Yes, I am Crackers. You can always find me here when we are streaming on this campaign as playing Crackers, the Awakened Parrot Bard. My assistant, Matthew, can be found on Twitter at Matthew A. Siebert, and as well he can be found as the Dungeon Master of the Land Above podcast.
Excellent. And lastly, I am Tessa. You can find me here on Friday evenings or on Tuesday evenings on Shenanigans. And you can find me every other Wednesday on In Vain Valpurgisnacht, which is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition podcast. Thank you to my amazing behind-the-scenes crew, Logan, for running us and keeping us moving. As always, we could not do the stream without you. And finally, just for the folks who are joining us afterwards, we will be hanging out in the Nerdsmith Discord. If you have any questions for us, or just need to talk about what happened tonight, or have any sort of aftercare kind of concerns that you want to address with us, you can find us in the chat room there. So please feel free to come and chat with us. We cannot thank you guys enough for coming and spending your Friday night with us. So thank you, everybody. And in parting, my favorite thing, carry on, you funky little tieflings. Good night, everybody.
Trying to solve a mystery or get prepped for a fight. Your favorite handful of die-hard dice tonight. Against those Heidi C's, a 20 would be nice. Please no one's die-hard dice. Need a crit, you gotta roll with die-hard dice. Let's get dangerous. Die-hard dice. Die-hard dice. Rolling scrolls and misshaped spheres, it's so hard to decide. So many colors and designs the Die Hard can provide. Which ones should I procure? So give me some advice. You need some Die Hard dice. Oh well, we suggest you roll with the best. Die Hard dice. Let's get dangerous. Die Hard dice. fast jail for these bad boys.